Welcome back to Prospect Analytics. Bowman season is almost upon us as we approach the first release in the calendar year of the three Bowman products, which will be 2026 Bowman. Now, as of last week, we officially got our checklist for that product. This week, the pre-sales opened, and then as of yesterday, we learned that the release date will be May 13th. So we had approximately a month. You want to make sure you go over to www.prospect-analytics.com. Before that product comes out, I will do full in-depth articles telling you which hitters and pitchers to chase, along with ranking teams individually for PYT breaks. All of that information will be available for subscribers over on the website, so make sure you check that out. But for today, I'm going to run through the checklist for all 30 MLB teams and kind of give them tier grades based on all of the hits that you can get for each team. Now, we do not have pack odds yet, so some of these inserts that are new, we aren't sure what the print run will be, but I will include them just in case they end up being some of the chases in the product. So let's go alphabetically through each team, and I'll tell you which cards you should be on the lookout for. Starting first with the Arizona Diamondbacks, not a very exciting one. They only have two cards that I have on my hit list. The first is going to be Carlos Virahonda, who is getting his first autograph, so he's the only first autograph you can get for the Diamondbacks. And then you can also hit a draft pick pairings. Now, this card is going to be two players who were drafted in the same draft position in the MLB draft. It will be a dual autograph. Some of the combinations are really cool. The one you can hit with Arizona is Max Scherzer, and on his card, he is shared with Andrew McCutchen, so that's kind of a cool autograph. But with a Carlos Virahonda first and a Max Scherzer insert auto, I would give them tier 6, which is the lowest tier. Those are the only two hits that I see on the checklist for the Diamondbacks, so it's not the greatest product for them. Then we'll go with the Athletics, who are technically next. I still call them the Oakland Athletics, but for the purpose of this, and since they are ATH and not OAK, on the Bowman checklist, we'll go with the Athletics. Now, the Athletics have a very exciting checklist. We'll start with the first autographs. You have Edgar Montero, who is probably going to be a top 10 hitter chase for me. You have Gage Jump, who is going to be a top 5 on my pitcher list. And you also have Wei En Lin, who's going to be top 10 on my pitcher list. There are not many teams in this product who have 3 first autographs that I'm this excited about. They also have Brayson Guedez, who is kind of like a sleeper for me in the hitter category. So that's 4 first autographs. All of them are really solid. On top of that, we know everybody loves the anime inserts. Those always sell extremely well. There are 3 different anime inserts you can hit for the A's. There will be a Nick Kurtz anime, a Ricky Henderson anime, and a Shotaro Mori. We know that when it comes to the animes, the Japanese and Korean players sell extremely well, so that one is probably going to do some crazy numbers early on. There's also a handful of insert autos. Leo DeVries has 4 different autographs that you can hit in this product, including a gold ink. Those are the black ones with the gold ink numbered to 15. Those are really cool. There's also a Jacob Wilson draft pick pairings with Jack Caglione dual autograph. There's a Nick Kurtz duel with Wyatt Langford, also for the draft pick pairings. And then Nick Kurtz also has an Electric Sluggers insert auto. This is a very solid list. The A's aren't usually a huge team in Bowman, but they have been picking it up lately. I'm going to put them into tier 2. They're honestly one of my favorite teams in this product. When you look at this checklist, you have very good first and you have very good inserts you can hit. The non-autograph short printed inserts are also very good. This is going to be one of the top teams for me when this product comes out. Next up, the Atlanta Braves. 2 first autographs you can hit for the Atlanta Braves, Eric Hartman and Owen Carey. Both are hitters. Both are pretty exciting names. I don't know that either will make my top 20, but they're right on the fringe. They're probably honorable mentions. So they're good names to chase after. Owen Carey also will have the gold ink autograph. After that, all you're looking for is Ronald Acuna Jr., who is in a number of inserts. He has 2 different insert autographs. He also will have a crystallized and a final draft insert, which are often short printed. But outside of those 2 first and those Ronald Acuna Jr. cards, that's really all you're looking for the Braves. So I'm going to go ahead and put them into tier 4. The Baltimore Orioles have probably the deepest list when it comes to first autographs. When it comes to hitters, you have Andrew Tess, who will likely be a honorable mention for me. You also have Victor Figueroa, who's a very exciting player. He'll also end up probably in my honorable mention category. And then you have Wehiwa Aloy, who's going to be inside my top 20. He's a good chase for the Orioles. But then when you flip to the pitcher side, they have one of the best 1-2 combinations of pitchers in this product with Esteban Mejia and Trey Gibson. Both of them will be inside my top 10 pitchers. So that's 5 autographs, first autographs that you can hit for the Orioles. All of them are pretty solid names. Mejia also has a gold ink, as does Eloy, and Figueroa. Outside of that, you can hit a Manny Machado draft pick pairings. His dual autograph is going to be with Evan Longoria, and then Samuel Basallo. They really went all out with Basallo. I think he has just about every insert. He will have an anime, he will have a crystallized, an etched in glass, a final draft, and a spotlight. And then he'll also have 3 different insert autos. You're not really chasing insert autos in these products. You want the first, but their list of first is pretty strong. Although none of the hitters are in my top 10, I still think they're a tier 3 chase because there's so much depth and good names that you can grab. Now, when it comes to the Boston Red Sox, the big chase, of course, is going to be Justin Gonzalez. He's likely going to be a top 3 chase in this entire product for me. Now, they also have Hector Ramos, who is getting a first autograph, and Nelly Taylor, who is getting a first autograph, but neither of them will be ranked in my top 20. But Gonzalez is the name we're after. Anytime you have a top 3 chase in a product, you're going to get ranked pretty highly in PYT breaks. There's also a Connolly Early and Franklin Arias. Both have insert autos. And we see our first appearance of Manny Ramirez, who is going to have an anime and also a final draft insert. But really, if you're not hitting Justin Gonzalez, we know you're chasing Roman Anthony. Topps has done a great job of taking guys who are no longer first Bowmans and just giving you plenty of opportunities to hit their autographs. Roman Anthony may have more different appearances in this product than any other player. He's going to have an anime. He's going to have a crystallized, an etched in glass, a final draft, and a spotlight. On top of that, he's going to have a rookie autograph in this product, as well as 3 different insert autographs. So I think that even though Justin Gonzalez is really the only first you're after, the fact that you have so many different chances to hit Roman Anthony cards that will likely sell for triple digits makes Boston a tier 2 chase for me. Justin Gonzalez will be probably the 2nd or 3rd most expensive hitter in this product on release day. I think you have to put them right underneath some of those top teams. The Chicago Cubs, unfortunately, they will also be a team that goes down into tier 6. When I looked at the sheet, they only had 3 different hits that you can have. That's going to be a Cade Snell first autograph. There is a Sammy Sosa anime insert, and there's a draft pick pairings dual autograph of Chris Bryan and Byron Buxton. Those are the only 3 hits you can have. None of those are extremely exciting to me. They will go down to tier 6. They're probably going to be one of the cheapest teams in this product. On the other side of Chicago, we'll go to the White Sox, who do have 1 first autograph in this product. It's going to be Adrian Gill. He's not going to be ranked in my top 20. You also have Billy Carlson, who was just taken in 2025 draft, who is going to get his 2nd autograph, so he will have a prospect autograph. You also have Munetaka Murakami, has a number of cards that are probably going to be the biggest chases for the White Sox in this product. He has an anime that's probably going to sell extremely well. He also is getting his first rookie autograph in Bowman. That is going to sell very, very well. Outside of that, you have a draft pick pairings dual auto of Hagen Smith that's with Liam Doyle. There's a Kyle Teal insert, and then a number of cards for Colson Montgomery. Now, none of them are autographs, but he will have a crystallized and etched in glass, a patchwork, which is the new insert. That's one of the ones that I'm not sure what the print run is going to be, but they are very cool. And he'll also have a spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and put the White Sox in tier 4. Not much for first chases, but because that Murakami rookie autograph is probably going to be very sought after, and they will be one of the cheaper teams in this product when it comes to PYT breaks, I don't think that the value is going to be that bad. On to the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the Reds also have 1 first autograph that you can hit in this product. It's going to be Pablo Nunez, who's a DSL guy. He's actually a sleeper of mine. He'll probably be in the honorable mentions, so he's kind of sneaky. Outside of that, you're looking for rookies. Chase Burns is going to have a rookie autograph, along with an etched in glass and a Bowman Sterling insert autograph. He has a spotlight as well. So a lot of Chase Burns. He has a draft pick pairings dual auto that will be with Tyler Bremner of the Angels. Sal Stewart also has a rookie autograph and an insert auto. He also will have a crystallized insert. Outside of that, there's a Joey Votto anime and a Ellie Dela Cruz final draft. As I said with the White Sox, there are some fun cards that you can hit here, but because none of them are really first other than Nunez, I'll put them also in that tier 4. The Cleveland Guardians are going to have 3 first autographs that you can hit. The biggest one being Dowry Fernandez, who's going to be probably in my 10 to 15 range for hitter rankings. He's a very young, high upside prospect that I like in the Guardians organization. They also have Gabriel Rodriguez and Riley Nelson, all 3 hitters who will get first autographs. Dowry Fernandez will also have a gold ink autograph and a Pack Fractor autograph, which makes him specifically a pretty fun chase. Outside of those 3 firsts, Jose Ramirez will have a patchwork insert, Travis Bazzano will have a prospect autograph, obviously not his first autograph, and he will also have a draft pick pairings dual autograph for the #1 overall pick, and he will share that card with Eli Willits. So that'll be a cool one, but again, insert autos aren't really the biggest chases. I put them kind of in the same category. They have more first autos than the White Sox and the Reds, but outside of the Daury Fernandez first autographs, there isn't really much that I would be chasing on the Guardians, so I'm also going to put them into tier 4. Moving on to the Colorado Rockies, who are a team that seemingly is never a huge team to chase when it comes to Bowman, but they're very good in this product. Ethan Holiday, of course, is on the cover art. His first autograph, I wouldn't be surprised if it is the most expensive autograph coming out of this product. Now, he's not going to be my #1 chase, but between Ethan Holiday and Roldy Brito, they are probably one of the best 1-2 punches in this entire product. They will both be top 10 chases on the hitter side for me, which makes the Rockies one of the best teams that you can have in this product. Not only will they both have gold ink autographs and pack fractor autographs, but Ethan Holiday is going to be the only player on this entire checklist who gets the All-American Game autograph. He's also going to have an anime. He will have a Bowman Sterling autograph, a crystallized insert, an electric sluggers autograph, an etched in glass insert, final draft insert, power chords autograph, and a spotlight. I mean, Bowman really went all out with Ethan Holiday. I think he has more cards you can hit than Roman Anthony, which is not surprising because he is on the box and he's Jackson's little brother. So you know that they're really just almost force feeding him to us. Now, he is a high upside player, so I do like him as a chase. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to hit his autographs, along with Roldy Brito, who I said that's one of the better 1-2 punches in this product. Charlie Condon is also going to have a prospect autograph in this product, along with a draft pick pairings dual auto for the #3 pick that he will share with Cade Anderson of the Seattle Mariners. All in all, I think this is a good checklist. It's not as deep when it comes to insert autos, but when it comes to Bowman, you're looking for the first Bowmans, and Ethan Holiday, Roldy Brito is one of the best combinations you're going to find. So I'm going to put the Rockies firmly into tier 2. Going down to the Detroit Tigers, the Tigers are only going to have one first autograph you can hit, and that's Jude Warwick. He also will have a gold ink and a pack fractor. But honestly, for the Tigers, you're chasing second autographs, which is very strange because in Bowman, you're not usually after the second autographs. But I can remember when 2025 Bowman came out, I didn't give the Royals enough credit. Jack Caglione had a second autograph. His second autograph ended up outselling almost all of the firsts in that product in the first couple of weeks. So don't sleep on some of these second autographs of bigger name prospects. And two of the best ones you'll find both are on the Tigers. Kevin McGonigal will have a non-first auto, as will Max Clark. They also both have insert autographs. Kevin McGonigal is going to have a gold ink autograph. Max Clark is going to have a patchwork insert. They might be one of the best teams when it comes to chasing autographs that aren't first. But since this is a product where you want the first, as I said, and you don't really know how often those insert autos and non-first autos are going to show up, it makes them kind of hard to go after in breaks. So for that reason, I am also going to put the Tigers into tier 4. Next up is the Houston Astros. Now the Astros have two first autographs you can hit. Both are hitters. They're going to be Jace Mitchell and Nick Monasteri. Now the only problem is that neither of those hitters are going to be ranked very highly in my rankings. They also have Alex Bregman, who's going to have two different draft pick pairings autographs. He's going to have one with Bobby Witt Jr. and another with Dylan Cruz. Those are both going to be very cool inserts. The main chase for the Astros is going to be rookie Tatsuya Imai, who not only will have a rookie autograph, but he will also have an anime insert. Those are both probably going to sell extremely well. However, both rookie autographs and anime inserts are tough to hit, and because they're both going to be very hard to hit, and they're really the only two cards of the Astros that I'm interested in, that's going to put them into tier 5 for me. On to the Kansas City Royals. Now the Royals are going to have two first autographs in this product, and they're going to be Kendry Churio and David Shields, who are two of the best pitchers in this product. I think that this product is going to be very pitcher heavy. I know a lot of people aren't going to love the hitter checklist. I looked at it earlier. There are actually 6 pitchers in my top 50 hobby rankings and 11 pitchers in my top 100 hobby rankings that are getting first autographs in this product. It's a very good pitcher product if you like to chase pitcher autographs, which I do. Kendry Churio might be the top pitcher chase in the entire product, depending on who you ask. David Shields will also be a top 10 pitcher for me. Both of those guys also will have gold ink autographs, which is very exciting. Now, they don't have a hitter in this product, which does sting a little bit, but when you get outside of the first, the checklist is very good. Carter Jensen has a rookie auto. Bo Jackson is going to get an anime insert in this product. Bobby Witt Jr. has a crystallized insert, and he has that draft pick pairings dual autograph with Alex Bregman that I mentioned. And then you get to Jack. They really flooded this with Jack, as they do with a lot of their big name guys. Caglione is going to have an anime insert, a Bowman Sterling autograph, crystallized insert, electric sluggers autograph, etched in glass, final draft, patchwork, power chords autograph, and a rookie autograph. For the first time, he will have an autograph that is not a prospect autograph. Along with that, draft pick pairings, dual auto with Jacob Wilson. It's tough to rank a team where you can't hit a first hitter because a lot of people are opening Bowman for that reason, but because they have 2 top 10 pitchers and they have a lot of Jack Caglione that you can hit and a couple other rookie autos that are exciting, I'm going to put the Royals into tier 3. Next up, the Los Angeles Angels. Now the Angels have 2 different first autographs you can hit. You're going to get an Isaiah Jackson first autograph, who is probably going to be in my honorable mentions, and he also has a gold ink version of that auto. And then you have Yohansel Cabrera, who also is getting a first autograph. He will likely not be in the top 20 of my hitter rankings. Outside of those first, Christian Moore will get a rookie autograph and a couple of insert autographs, as well as a spotlight. Then you have Mike Trout, who is going to be getting an anime insert, which might end up being the biggest chase for the Angel spot. He's also going to have 2 different insert autographs. And then you have Tyler Bremner on the draft pick pairings, dual auto with Chase Burns. A couple of good options here, but as I said, the best card for this team is probably going to be the Mike Trout anime. And because those are hard to hit, and I'm not overly excited about the rookie autographs or the first on this team, I'm going to put the Angels into tier 4. The Los Angeles Dodgers are a team that is usually one of the top chases in what seems like every single Bowman product. They are only going to have 1 first autograph in this product, who's Brandon Tunick. He'll be in my honorable mentions. He's a solid bat to look out for. He also has the gold ink and pack fractor autograph variations. And then after that, you got a bunch of randomness for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman has a Bowman Sterling auto. Hideo Nomo is getting an anime insert. That will sell extremely well, I would imagine. Then you've got Josue DePaula, who has the patchwork insert and an under the radar insert autograph. Roki Sasaki is going to have a patchwork. And then, of course, Shohei Ohtani. He has a crystallized, which is going to be a huge card. Then he has a final draft insert and a patchwork. Yamamoto also has a patchwork. Now, a lot of the Dodgers ranking is going to come down to the pack odds in this product, because we saw the reveal of the patchwork insert. We don't know if that's going to be a 1 per pack, a 1 per box, if it's a short print. If this is a short printed insert and you can hit a Sasaki, an Ohtani, a Yamamoto, and all these guys, the Dodgers would go into tier 3. But as far as chasing the first autographs and looking at the checklist as a whole, they will go down into my 4 category. Another tricky one is that Shohei Ohtani is actually going to have an anime where he is wearing his WBC Team Japan uniform. If breakers are giving this card to the Dodgers spot, I also think that could bump the Dodgers up into the 3, but I also don't know if those will be their own spots. So the Dodgers are kind of in limbo. We'll see how the pack odds come out. We'll see how breakers are assigning those WBC animes, but for now, I'm going to put the Dodgers into the 4 tier. Miami Marlins are up next, and they have 2 first autographs you can hit. Iva Arquette, who is a top 10 pick in last year's MLB draft, and Luis Arana, who is an international prospect who is extremely exciting. He's kind of under the radar. He'll be in my top 20 hitters. So that's 2 pretty solid hitters that you can hit for the Marlins. Both of them also have gold ink autographs, and both of them will have a pack fractor variation of that autograph. Arquette's also going to have a crystallized, an etched in glass, and a spotlight. I expect him to be one of the bigger chases in this product. Aside from those 2, Thomas White is going to have a non-first prospect autograph. Now that is it for the Marlins. It's those 3 players. That's all you're getting. But because Iva Arquette is going to be a top 10 chase and Arana is a nice sleeper, and they're both hitters and they have gold ink, I'm going to put the Marlins into tier 3 for this product. Going on to the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brewers are going to have 7 different first autographs that you can hit in this product. The biggest one is going to be Andrew Fisher, who is a top 10 hitter chase in this product. He might even be top 5 for me. We'll see how those rankings look over on the site when I put them out. After that, Handle-Free Encarnacion is an exciting international prospect who will probably be in my top 15. After that, you have Braylon Antunez, who will likely be an honorable mention. You have Daniel Dickinson on the hitter side, and then you have Ethan Dortche's getting his first autograph. He'll be an honorable mention pitcher for me. You have Josh Noth, who already got his first Bowman, but has not gotten an autograph. He'll now get his first autograph. It probably won't have a first stamp because we've now crossed over to 2026. And then Pedro Ibargüen will also get a first autograph. You have 7 different ones here. You know, Antunez is a pretty decent name. He'll be a sleeper for me. Encarnacion and Fisher. Those 3 will also have gold ink and pack fractor variations of their first autograph. Outside of those 7 first autographs you can hit, Churio is going to have a patchwork insert. Jacob Mizorowski has a number of cards, including an anime insert, a Bowman Sterling autograph, a crystallized, etched and glassed, and final draft. And then we can't forget about my number 2 prospect, Jesus Madej, who is also going to get his first anime insert, and he will have an electric sluggers insert autograph. This is one of the deeper teams in this product. 7 first autographs, a couple of them pretty exciting names. and you get all of the inserts and extra stuff that you can chase of Mizorowski and Madej. That is going to put the Brewers into my tier 2 category. With the Minnesota Twins, you're only going to get 2 first autographs. However, if there is a team where you want to chase a hitter and a pitcher, there might not be a better combination in this product than Dasan Hill and Merrick Houston, who are both extremely exciting. They will both be in my top 10 for hitters and pitchers. Both of them are also going to have gold ink variations and pack fractor inserts. Merrick Houston is also going to have crystallized and etched in glass inserts, so plenty of cards of Merrick Houston that you can hit. Kalen Culpepper is also going to have an insert auto, as will Walker Jenkins, and Byron Buxton is going to have a draft pick pairings dual autograph that will be with Chris Bryant, as I mentioned, for the Cubs. Now, their list is not as long as most teams, but because Dasan Hill and Merrick Houston is one of the better combinations of hitter and pitcher that you can chase for first autographs, that is going to put the Twins into tier 3 for me. On to the New York Mets, who have a single first autograph you can hit. That's Anthony Ferbosi. After that, there's a ton of different inserts you can be on the lookout for. Carson Benj is going to get an insert auto. Francisco Lindor has a crystallized and patchwork insert. Jonah Tong gets his rookie autograph. That is probably the biggest chase for the Mets in this product. And then Juan Soto has a number of inserts, a couple of different insert autographs. Nolan McLean will get an etched in glass and a spotlight. So good names in this, but you're also chasing short printed inserts. A lot of them aren't autographs. I think Jonah Tong rookie auto is probably the card you want. Now, Juan Soto, as I said, with Otani, who will have an anime in his Japan uniform, Juan Soto is going to have a Dominican Republic anime. If that card is going to the Mets spot, that might change how I view this team. But because I only have one first autograph, it's not super exciting. And then you're chasing a bunch of random inserts. The Mets are going to end up in tier 4 for me. Our other New York team, the Yankees, who are often one of the bigger teams when it comes to Bowman, they're going to get 3 first autographs in this product. Dylan Lewis is one of them. He's probably my highest ranked of all of the hitters on the Yankees. Unfortunately, he was traded to the Marlins. He will be in a Yankees uniform on his card, but Yankees fans chasing him will probably not be a ton of them since he's no longer with the team. Henry Lelane is a pitcher that they will be after for sure. And then you have TJ Rumfield, who again is now playing for the Colorado Rockies. Now, he's had a great start to his MLB career, but unfortunately, he's no longer a Yankee. So 2 of the 3 first autographs you can hit for the Yankees no longer play for the Yankees. That kind of hurts the stock of this team and breaks for me. Now, Aaron Judge will get a crystallized. Obviously, that'll sell well. Cam Schlittler is going to get a spotlight, and he'll have an insert autograph. We're going to see Derek Jeter get a final draft insert. George Lombard will have a patchwork insert as well as a non-first prospect autograph. So that might even be the card you're after for the Yankees as a non-first Lombard autograph. Because none of those cards really do much for me, I'm also going to put the Yankees into tier 4. Philadelphia Phillies are up next, and they have 4 first autographs. Unfortunately, none of them are extremely high-rated chases for me. Anderson Arajau is going to be a DSL guy. He's kind of a sneaky honorable mention for me on the hitter side. You're also going to have Caden Hediger, Matthew Ferrara, and then Moises Chase, who's a pitcher. A lot of honorable mentions, a lot of guys that were almost in my top 20, but that I don't love. Now, Arajau will have a gold ink. None of the other guys will. They'll just be standard variations of the first. Bryce Harper will have a final draft insert and a patchwork. And there's going to be a Jim Thome patchwork insert. That's it for the Phillies. Now, they do have, as I said, 4 firsts, which makes them kind of not a bad team to chase, but I'm not overly excited about any of them. And I don't think that their list of inserts is very exciting either. So I'm going to put the Phillies in tier 4 as well. Now, there's been a couple of teams that I've mentioned as tier 2, but you'll notice that I have not mentioned anybody in tier 1 yet. And that's because there's only going to be one tier 1 team. There's one team in this product that I think far and away has the best checklist when it comes to chasing PYT breaks, and that's going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. You have Edward Florentino, who is going to be the number one. He should be the number 1 chase. I know that Ethan Holiday is going to get all the hype, especially from Topps. People love to push the Holiday brothers. Edward Florentino is the best hitter in this product. Edward Florentino is the autograph you want. He's my number 1 chase. Not only will he have a first autograph, but he'll also have gold ink and pack fractor autos, as well as a crystallized and a etched in glass insert, and 2 different insert autographs in the power chords and the under the radar. He's also going to get his own spotlight. So as we saw with Ethan Holiday, they finally put Florentino in. We're going to get plenty of Florentino. All of those cards are going to sell extremely well. They also have Jared Jones from LSU as a power hitting first baseman. He'll get his first autograph. Wyatt Sanford is also getting his first autograph. He's kind of a sneaky honorable mention for me. He'll get a gold ink autograph as well. So those are 3 hitter firsts. They're all pretty solid, including the best player in this product, in my opinion. And then you'll also get a first autograph in Brett Iredale, who will be the fourth first chase for the Pirates. And on top of all that, you're going to get Bubba Chandler, who will get a crystallized etched in glass and spotlight inserts. Paul Skeens is going to have a draft pick pairings dual autograph for the #1 overall pick that he will share with Steven Strasburg. That is going to be one of the coolest pairings that we see in this entire product. And I haven't even gotten to the guy that everyone's going to be talking about, and that's Connor Griffin. They really went out of their way to make sure that Connor Griffin was a chase in this product. Here's the checklist for Connor Griffin. He'll get an anime insert, Bowman Sterling autograph, Electric Sluggers autograph, final draft insert. He's going to get the gold ink variation. He's also going to get a Pack Fractor autograph variation. He will have a patchwork, and he will have a non-first regular prospect autograph. Pretty much anything Connor Griffin is gold, so we know that the anime is going to sell extremely well. His prospect autograph is going to sell extremely well. This is the team you want in breaks. I think they should be far and away priced the highest. You can hit Skeens, you can hit all these Connors, and then you also have Edward Florentino, who's my favorite hitter of the entire product. So this is an easy tier 1 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. After that, we got the San Diego Padres, who will have 2 different first autographs in this product. They have Jorge Quintana, who is an international prospect that is pretty sneaky. He will be in my honorable mentions section. They also have Truett Madonna, who they drafted. Those will be their 2 first autographs. After that, you're looking for a Manny Machado patchwork and a Tony Gwynn patchwork insert. But again, I don't know what the print run on those are going to be. Fernando Tatis Jr. will get one as well. So they could be an exciting team if those patchworks are short printed. I don't know that they will. And then you can also get a draft pick pairings dual autograph of Dave Winfield and Barry Larkin, which will be a cool card. But really none of the non-first inserts or autographs do anything for me when you look at ranking teams for a PYT break. And because Jorge Quintana is the biggest chase for them in this product, and he likely won't make my top 20, that puts the Padres into tier 5 for me. The Seattle Mariners will get 1 first autograph. It is going to be Ricardo Cova. After that, you're hunting for insert autos with Seattle, and they have one of the best draft pick pairing autographs that I think we will see. It's my favorite one in the product. There will be an Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr. dual autograph. Now, the reason this is cool is because these draft pick pairings are based on your draft pick position. So most of them are multi-team. Not a lot of them are 2 players from the same team. These are going to be Griffey and A-Rod in their Mariners uniform. So this is like a Grail Bowman Mariners card. Cal Raleigh is going to have a couple of insert autographs. Ichiro is getting a patchwork insert. Julio has a random Bowman Sterling autograph. And then you have Cade Anderson, who will get a non-first autograph. I'm sure that will sell well. Cade Anderson also has a draft pick pairings auto with Charlie Condon. Ken Griffey Jr. will get an anime, which will be a very cool card. He'll also have a final draft insert. And then Colt Emerson is going to have an insert autograph. Now, this is tough because I do love that A-Rod and Griffey, but you can't really chase that card. The insert autos are all kind of random, and none of them really stand out to me as being big chases in this product. And because Kova, their only first autograph, is not a super exciting name to me, that's going to put the Mariners into tier 4 in this product. San Francisco Giants are up next. They're going to have 2 first autographs in this product. The first is going to be Carlos Gutierrez, who I actually think is a really solid sleeper. He's going to be in my honorable mentions category. And then Giancarlo Cio, who is also getting his first autograph. After that, you're chasing basically Bryce Eldridge. Bryce Eldridge is going to have crystallized an Electric Sluggers autograph, an etched in glass insert, final draft, patchwork inserts. He's going to get his own spotlight, and he will have a power chords insert auto. But that's it for the Giants. You have the 2 first, no gold ink variations, no patchwork variations, and then you're chasing Bryce Eldridge inserts. Not a very exciting team to me. I'm going to put them into tier 5. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to have 2 first autographs. Daniil Ortiz is going to be the big one that you're going to want to be after. He is going to be in my top 20 hitters, which makes them a team, if they are cheap, worth snagging. Kenley Hunter will also get his first autograph. Now, both of those guys will also have gold ink autographs. JJ Weatherholt is going to have 2 different insert autographs, and he will get the patchwork insert. After that, you can get a Liam Doyle on the draft pick pairings dual autograph with Hagen Smith, and then Mark McGuire is getting a final draft insert, which feels a little bit random. So here for the Cardinals, you've got the 2 first. Daniil Ortiz is the name that you're after, but outside of that, you're kind of chasing JJ Weatherholt insert autos. Not super exciting, but because I do like Ortiz and I expect to be higher on him than a lot of people, I will put the Cardinals into tier 4. Tampa Bay Rays are up next, and they are one of my favorite teams in Bowman. Now, sadly, Brendan Summerhill did not get his first autograph, but Daniel Pierce did, and he is going to be a top 10 hitter chase for me, which is going to make the Rays a very exciting team in this product because James Quinn Irons is also getting his first autograph, as is Jose Urbina, who's probably going to be a top 10 pitcher in this product for me. So they have 3 different first autographs, a good pitcher, a good hitter, and then a sleeper hitter. Kind of a good trio to have there. Daniel Pierce is also going to get a crystallized and an etched in glass, along with his gold ink and pack fractor autograph variations. And then you can hit the draft pick pairings dual auto of Evan Longoria and Manny Machado. After that, you're chasing the biggest name on the Rays right now, and that's Junior Caminero, who will get a patchwork insert and will also have an insert autograph. I like the idea of a Caminero insert auto. I like the 3 first. Daniel Pierce is a name that I'm very high on. For that reason, I'm going to put the Rays into tier 3. The Texas Rangers are a very tough team to rank for me. They're going to have 4 different first autographs in this product: Caden Scarborough, David Davalillo, Jack Wheeler, and Seungjun Kim. Now, the problem with this is that Kim is a two-way player who is extremely exciting, and we've seen in the past how two-way players are treated in Bowman. You saw Shotaro Mori last year. His market just went through the roof because people want to chase that type of player. That leads me to believe that even though Kim is not ranked in my hitters or pitchers list, I think that his cards are probably going to be crazy. He's also getting a gold ink autograph and a patchwork. He's also getting his own etched in glass insert, and Topps has been using him for some of the mock-up artwork that we've seen leading up to this product, leading me to believe, as with Shotaro Mori for the A's last year in 2025 Bowman Chrome, that Kim is going to be a name that is extremely expensive, which kind of like puts me in a back and forth with the Rangers. Now, Scarborough is a top 5 pitcher for me in this product, and Davalillo is probably a top 10 pitcher. So you have 2 really good pitchers. You have the two-way player in Kim. After that, all you're looking for is the Sebastian Walcott patchwork, and then Wyatt Langford has a draft pick pairings dual auto with Nick Kurtz. This is a tough one for me. I love the 2 pitchers. I love Scarborough and Davalillo. As I said, they'll both be in my top 10. Neither of them have gold ink or any sort of variation, so it's just the first. They're a team that I'm definitely going to be buying if they're reasonably priced. I don't know what Seungjun Kim's autograph prices are going to look like. They almost could go into a tier 2 because I wasn't high on the A's in 25 Chrome, and then Maury's autographs were so expensive, they ended up being one of the teams people were chasing the heaviest. That could happen with the Rangers here, but until I see how his autographs are selling, I think I'm going to put the Rangers into tier 3. Another team that's not usually a huge chase in these Bowman products of late is the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, the Blue Jays have one of my favorite checklists in this entire product. They have 5 different first autographs, starting with Blaine Bullard, who they drafted out of high school last year, Gage Stanifer, who is a great pitcher, Juan Sanchez, who is going to be a top 10 hitter chase for me, maybe top 5. He is a very, very good name to watch out for. Then you have Seojun Moon, who's a pitcher that they signed, Victor Arias, who's a hitter who will probably be in my honorable mentions. That's 5 firsts, and they're all really good. Stanifer might be on my top 10 pitchers list. You're going to have Bullard and Sanchez, who are probably in my top 10 hitters. This is one of the best combinations of first autographs in terms of depth that you're going to find with any team. On top of that, Bullard, Sanchez, Moon, and Arias are all going to have gold ink variations of their first autograph. Juan Sanchez, who's my favorite name on this team, is also going to get an etched in glass insert. And then you're going to see some Trey Savage in this product. He's getting his own spotlight. He's getting an under the radar insert autograph. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to show up a few times with the crystallized insert, the patchwork insert, and he will also have an autograph in the Electric Sluggers subset. Now, this is already a great team from what I've named. 5 first autographs, all good, but let's not sleep on the fact that Kazuma Okamoto is going to have not only his first Bowman rookie autograph, but he will also have an anime insert in this product. We've seen how these international players have sold in the anime market. His cards are probably going to go crazy. So not only do you have 5 very good firsts, you have one of the best rookie autographs in terms of what the value will be coming out of the product, in my opinion. That puts the Blue Jays firmly into tier 2. They are one of the best teams in this entire release. Last but not least is the Washington Nationals, who have 3 different first autographs you can hit. They are Coy James, Marconi Herman, and Sam Peterson. Honestly, I like all 3 of them. I don't know that any 3 will make my top 10, but all 3 might be in that 10 to 20 range. I do like them. They're all very good sleepers. They're all names that I want to hold. Herman and James will both get gold ink variations of that autograph. And then, of course, we saw Dylan Cruz will have the draft pick pairings dual auto with Alex Bregman. And then after that, you're going to be chasing number 1 pick in last year's draft class, Eli Willits, who's getting his first anime insert. He will also have a gold ink auto, a pack fracture auto, a prospect autograph, which will be his second autograph, and he will have the draft pick pairings dual auto with Travis Bazana. After that, Harry Ford has an etched in glass insert. James Wood has a patchwork insert. And then, of course, I mentioned that Paul Skeens really cool draft pick pairings with Steven Strasburg. That Strasburg you can hit with the national spot. And then on top of all of that, Brady House is also getting his Bowman rookie autograph in this set. I think this is a really well-balanced checklist. You have a lot of non-firsts you can hit. You have some cool inserts you can hit. They have 3 first hitters that have autographs that you can hit. None of them are huge names, but they're all pretty solid. I think the depth here is good with the Nationals. I will put them into tier 3. Now, after the all 30 teams, you have the best of the rest. I already mentioned the Ohtani and the Juan Soto animes that will be in their WBC uniforms. There are also going to be some Team USA WBC animes. Those are going to be Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., Cal Raleigh, and Paul Skeens. Now, obviously, the Pirates are already in my 1 tier, so if that Skeens card is going to the Pirates, that just makes them even better. They're a ridiculous team in this product. If Raleigh goes to the Mariners spot, it doesn't really change their ranking for me, or Witt Jr. to the Royals. If the Aaron Judge animes are going to the Yankees, I would consider bumping them up from 4 to 3 in my tiers, but we will see how the breakers are handling those. And then after that, we have a Jackie Robinson anime, which will be Brooklyn Dodgers. That will probably go to the Dodgers spot, which puts them even more in limbo between 3 and 4 for me. Then we will get a Sadaharu O anime as well, which will sell really well. That's going to be the Yomiuri Giants. Remains to be seen if that will go to the Giant spot and breaks or not. But that is the full run through. Just to recap the tiers, working backwards. Tier 6, the teams that I'm least excited about looking at the hits on this checklist are going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Chicago Cubs. They only have a couple of cards. None of them are very exciting. Into Tier 5, we have the Houston Astros, San Diego Padres, and San Francisco Giants. Tier 4 is when we get into that range. These are all teams that I wouldn't mind having. They should all be priced near the middle of the break. They're all okay. They all have certain cards that I'm after, but I'm not crazy about any of them. That's going to be the Atlanta Braves, Chicago White Sox, Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers, Los Angeles Angels, Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Mets, New York Yankees, Philadelphia Phillies, Seattle Mariners, and St. Louis Cardinals. I would put them all into one bunch. As I said with the Dodgers and Yankees, they'll get an asterisk. If Judge's anime cards go to the Yankee spot, I could make the argument that that could put them into tier 3. The Dodgers, if those patchwork inserts are short printed with Sasaki and Yamamoto and Ohtani, and if the Ohtani anime in his Team Japan uniform goes to the Dodgers, I think all those would be enough to push them into tier 3, but I will put them in tier 4 for now. And then we'll get up into what would be the top half of the chases in this product for me. In tier 3, you've got the Baltimore Orioles, Kansas City Royals, Miami Marlins, Minnesota Twins, Tampa Bay Rays, Texas Rangers, and Washington Nationals. Those are all teams to look for if you see any of them. When the break prices come out, I would look for like the median price. If you see any of those teams in tier 3 priced below the median, I would grab them. I do like their checklist. And then you get up into tier 2. These are some of the teams that you're going to want to be on the lookout for, paying the top spot. That's going to be the Athletics, the Boston Red Sox, Colorado Rockies, Milwaukee Brewers, and Toronto Blue Jays. I love the checklist for all of these teams. And then, of course, in a league of their own, the only tier 1 team in this product, in my opinion, the Pittsburgh Pirates. You're going to be hitting Connor Griffin autographs. There's Paul Skeens autographs. There's all sorts of cool short printed inserts of the biggest names in their franchise, along with Edward Florentino, who is the number 1 player to chase in this product. Put the Pirates down as the number 1 team for me. That is going to do it for the 30-team recap of 2026 Bowman. As I said, go to www.prospect-analytics.com. Before this product is released, I will do full in-depth articles ranking the top 20 hitters, maybe even 25, and top 10 pitchers with full scouting reports, scout grades, signing bonuses, all that good stuff that you need to know, giving you the order that I would rank those players as far as chasing singles in this product. And I will also rank all 30 teams based on how likely I would be to chase them in PYT breaks. So make sure you go over to www.prospect-analytics.com and become a premium subscriber so you can get all sorts of content along with our weekly content that keep you up to date on what is going on in minor league baseball, helping you gain a competitive edge in the world of Bowman.